So we're going to start with the concept of personality before I enter in all the other elements like defense mechanisms and personality disorder, neurosis, or anything else that is related with mental health. And I'm going to read a description which is, I think, is really interesting. It's the internet. It's from Community Counseling Services. I'm going to write down right here, and it's from Simone Horman, Corinne Zupanik, and Mark Dumbeck. And the question is, what is personality? And so I'm going to read this. I don't want to bother you and bore you, but I think it's important because it's a starting point. In psychological parlance, personality refers to a person, unique and enduring pattern of thinking, feeling, and behaving. When viewed in this manner, it becomes evident that personality encompasses nearly every aspect of human experience. Subsequently, our personalities have the potential to greatly impact our well being. In particular, the quality of our relationship is significantly affected by our personalities. Moreover, because human beings are social creatures, this means our personalities greatly influence our overall success and satisfaction with life. These are pretty bold assertions, so let's examine why this is so. Let's begin by examining the relationship between our personalities and our thoughts, feelings, and behavior. In each and every moment, we receive enormous amounts of information from everything going on around us in the world. Psychologists use the term environment to refer to these external events when on around us. As we receive this information from our environment, it undergoes a subjective internal process of evaluation and interpretation. We begin with a subjective evaluation of the information detected by our senses, what we see, we hear, etc. Then, an interpretative thought forms about what we think is going on. In addition, the information is assigned some kind of meaning and importance. As this occurs, we will experience an array of feelings in a varying degrees of intensity about what we think is going on around us. The intensity of the feelings that arise in us is usually determined by the importance we assign to a particular thought. We tend to have a very strong feeling about things that are highly important to us, and less intense feelings about things that are less important. This process of interpretation, our thoughts, and assigning meaning and importance our feelings about those thoughts will then determine our behavioral response to these external events in our environment. In other words, what I think and feel determine how I will behave. And I have something more here. Not only does the environment impact our behavior, but our behavior will subsequently impact the environment. Therefore, there is a dynamic, interactive exchange between the environment and our personalities, what we think and feel, and how we behave. This interactive exchange creates a circular feedback loop that leads to the development and maintenance of habitual patterns of exchange between a person and their environment. These habitual patterns form the foundation of personality. Therefore, the environment influences the development of our personalities, and our personalities influence how we respond to the environment. So the connection between the internal elements plus the environment and the relationship, whether this relationship is flexible or not flexible, and this flexibility has been created in our basically in our early childhood. It will be this the relationship that we as individuals will have with our surroundings. And so every time we connect with the surrounding, we're gonna coming up with or defining but more than defining in terms of cognitive understanding, but defining in a deeper understanding, and an understanding that involves feelings, intellect, but also our relationship, constant relationship with our environment. Because once we are doing that, we are proving. It's like the scientific method that we do it like naturally. So we have an approach, we prove our approach, and then this thing, especially with mental illnesses or emotional problems, it's a kind catch 22. So we keep repeating these patterns. So if these patterns are healthy, we're going to keep repeating healthy patterns. Ceteris paribus, everything else constant. But if these patterns are unhealthy, we're going to keep repeating these unhealthy patterns, because we're going to get an unhealthy answer too. For example, if we distrust someone, we're going to treat that person with contempt, and that contempt probably, very surely, gonna create in this person and also an answer that is not the answer that he would or she would have given to me if I didn't have that contempt. So I'm gonna recycle. I'm gonna confirm, like a self-fulfilled prophecy. I'm gonna confirm that idea, and I'm gonna become reassured on this pattern. So that's why it's so important, the environment on the one hand, and early childhood on the other. So the logical step after this video, which is number 13, and I encourage you to watch them in order, because I want you to really to give you a background. Then if you don't understand things, or I'm saying nonsense for you, please ask me questions or contact me. I can perfectly have a dialogue directly with you. And so the connection between early childhood and the environment, we're going to see in the next chapters. And this connection is very important, because it's not just we're going to see how the possibilities and lack of possibilities that the society or the environment is giving to the family of the children and to the children will decide in many ways that whether this child gonna be mentally healthy or with emotional problems. And considering the concept of the emotional problems, we can stretch this concept for a lot of problems. So that's one of the things I will address, and I'm going to show you, and I want to share with you when times come.